And we're back after a well-deserved break here on the Calcio guys. Back just Johnny and Nicholas this week. Adriano couldn't join us. But first episode of 2026, big year for Calcio in 2026. You can follow us with all the updates throughout the year at Calcio guys on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Johnny, how's it going?
Not bad. Fighting off a cold, but today I'm way better than I was past 2 days. So
yeah, that's
we're doing okay.
You sound good. So that's what
I
counts.
have a bit of a stuff. I have a stuff.
Yeah. It's that time of year. Even these days, I've been waking up like dry throat every day. I'm like, shit, is today the day? It's today the day I get sick. But no, I'm luckily knock on wood. I've been good. Obviously a lot has happened since we last recorded. The Champions League's come back, finished today with I think 18 games at once today at 3:00. 3 of the 4 Italian teams have gone through. Inter, Juve, and Atalanta. Napoli is the lone man out. Can't say you're surprised. Can't say we're surprised, right, Johnny? Because this is a classic Antonio Conte MO of can't focus on multiple competitions. 3-2 loss today against Chelsea, and they finished 30th in the table. A few points out of only one point out. So they had the opportunity to advance with a win, but they couldn't get it done. I mean, are you surprised at all by this, Jenny?
Not really, because the writing's been on the wall for a while. Like past two, like the previous games in Champions League, like they were very underwhelming. Like you kind of saw it after like the Benfica, like the Frankfurt game was 0-0 tied, and you lose to Benfica. I'm like, okay, well, okay, congrats, you beat Karabag after that, but against the big teams, you weren't getting results. And today, when I saw they had a 2-1 lead, I was like, oh, I'm surprised. Like I was working, so I didn't have a chance to watch the game. But essentially, when I got home, see the results different, 3-2, and I'm like I don't understand. But I'm not surprised, because it just seems like the wheels have been coming off the wagon for like a good while now. Ever since the Christmas break, Napoli's got, ever since, let's see here. In their past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, in the past 13 games, all competitions. Past 13 games, all competitions. I have it right here. You only have 5 wins. You have 4 ties and 4 losses. This is not the form of a team that deserves to win any kind of championship or deserves to be in any kind of competition, like elite competition. This is a very piss poor form. And is the roster overused? Very likely. Is the roster not strong enough? Very, very likely. Like Milinkovic-Savic is injured. That doesn't help. You obviously have, like a lot of injuries. It catches up, but you have to understand, like, you're not the only team that has injuries. You're not the only team that, you have to be able to find that depth. You still have some key players that are available, but it sucks because, I'm pretty sure, I wouldn't say this is the fault completely of Conte. I feel like it's a mixture of De Laurentiis and Conte, because Conte, should have told De Laurentiis certain players that he wanted, but maybe Conte is not able to identify good players as much as he used to. And De Laurentiis probably didn't give him too much, or he made some wrong decisions, like Lorenzo Luca. Like that was maybe just that was a miss, but it's not a terrible miss. Hold on, I'm just gonna blow my nose. Give me a second.
All good.
I have to mute the mic for that. I don't want to put the ear, but it's not like as if some players haven't been before. Like Hoyland's been fantastic, in my opinion. Hoyland's been a great pickup. It's the fact that you're able to. Well, De Bruyne got injured, you can't really blame him. But it's like he has gotten some good names for him too. It's I don't know. You look at it and it's like maybe the roster is just overworked, or maybe Conte just doesn't want to use a rotational roster, or doesn't have faith in a rotational roster. But I'm not surprised, because Conte, after a season or two with a team, he always has this type of track record where it just starts to petter out. Like unless you're Juventus, where you have a solid roster all the way through and you win what was it, 3 league titles with Conte, and Allegri won the other 6. Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was three
And
Scudetti.
then
Yeah,
Allegri won the other 6.
12, 13, 14.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's tough. It's always tough to repeat as champions in Serie A. We've discussed it many times. It's always tough. It's like whether depends obviously what kind of period. Serie A is in a very strong period in terms of competition. Like all the teams are very evenly matched, in my opinion. Like, look, you have, like you said before, 3 out of the 4 teams in Champions League have qualified. In Europa League, Roma is going to qualify. Bologna is right on the cusp, like of for the elimination round. Like it's not like as if isn't Fiorentina also in Europa League? If I'm not mistaken, why am I not seeing them? No, they're in
Conference League.
Conference League.
Conference League.
Actually, that I didn't pull up those standings. Thank you for UEFA Conference League, mind you. Let's not talk about Fiorentina and Serie A compared to Conference League, but let's see here. Yeah, Fiorentina Conference League is still in a spot to qualify. You have to play 2 more games.
Yeah, they're actually doing good.
Yeah. So Serie A as a whole is better, but you should still have some kind of fight. Right now they're slipping. Like they're 43 points. Inter's got 52. You're 9 points behind. You tied against Inter, which was a game you needed to win. You play against Juve and you lose 3-0 in embarrassing fashion. Like it's like I think it was like Juve's first win against Napoli in how many games, Nick?
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I have to pull that up.
Yeah, the bill is eventually going to come due. You eventually you can't keep a team like Juve on a losing record against your team for a long time. They're eventually going to get a W versus you. They're capable of doing that.
First since December 2023, and only second in the past 5 seasons in the Serie A.
So there you go. Like eventually the bill's going to come due, right? But still in a 3-0 fashion. You pulled the shirt a bit, But nonetheless, it's overall your roster needs to it's not performing as well. But I would say it's not really the fault of the players. It's more of how management's using them. I think that the wheels are coming off the wagon, as I said before, and I don't see this ending well in the partnership between De Laurentiis and Conte. I'm pretty sure come this summer. I hope it's in this summer. I hope it doesn't happen anytime soon, because that would be a complete mess. But I'm pretty sure sometime this summer, they're going to mutually agree to terminate the contract and part ways. I have a strong feeling about that.
Interesting. I mean, you're pretty good with predictions, so I'm gonna save that one, and we'll have to come back to it in the summer. But from an outsider's perspective too, I mean, you kind of mentioned it with the injuries. I know they just got Lukaku back, but it definitely feels like injuries are ravaging Napoli, and we'll see now that they could focus on Serie A. Yes, there's the Coppa Italia coming up. Not an easy matchup. They play against Como in February in the quarterfinals? Quarterfinals there. So it's going to be interesting. From the other team's perspective for the Champions League, I think, especially for teams like Atalanta and Juve, this is a huge result to advance. Not only to advance, but also as a seeded team to finish in that, fine, outside the top 8, but the next 8. This is something that Juve last year, they finished in the, I forget, it was 17 to 24 range as an unseeded team. I think it was it Villarreal or Valencia? Was it Villarreal they lost to? I'm drawing a blank now. In the knockout round of the Champions League. So for Juve, obviously I think the win last week kind of set them, obviously clinched their spot in the knockout round. Kind of felt like today against Monaco, they didn't really, not that they didn't care, like even the lineup coming out, starting Openda, benching Yildiz, they kind of knew that where they were in the table, that's where they were going to stay. And that's what happened. Even with a win today, they wouldn't have gone up to the top 8. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. They still had a chance going to the game to finish the top 8. I would have liked to see a bit more effort and a chance to win and give yourself that opportunity to finish in the top 8, but it is what it is. I know now they're either going to play Club Brugge or Galatasaray. So the draw is Friday morning. And then I know for the other Italian teams, I have to pull this up now.
You better hope it's Club Brugge, not Galatasaray.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't want Galatasaray again. We don't need that. We have bad luck against them.
You don't also like feed Osimhen's ego even
here.
more.
Yeah, here you go. So Juventus, Galatasaray, Club Brugge, Inter, Benfica, or Bodo Glimt, Atalanta, Olympiacos, or Borussia Dortmund. I mean, the only real tough opponent there is Dortmund for Atalanta. But I think for all three Italian teams, they're going to want to obviously advance to the round of 16. After that, it definitely will get tougher. I know for Juventus, if they advance, they could either play Liverpool or Tottenham. So everything's set in the table now. Everything's kind of set. I'll pull it up actually with the bracket. There's still a draw on Friday, but it's a bit more defined than it was in the past.
Yeah. Honestly though, like it's the very nice visual over here. Thank you, Wikipedia.
Atalanta, if they advance, they'll either play Arsenal or Bayern, tough, and then Inter. Inter, either Man City or Sporting. So interesting. And then all the Italian teams are on kind of separate sides of the bracket, where Inter and Juve would only play in the. Oh, sorry, it's not fully set, but there's a chance that Inter and Atalanta could actually meet as early as the quarterfinals, but they have to be drawn on the same side of the bracket. Anyways, for Juve, look, great. I'd say a good past month, especially since we last talked. But the loss against Cagliari and the draw against Lecce, I think were backbreakers in terms of the Scudetto race. I know it's Inter Scudetto now to lose, but those are games. That's 5 points right there that Juve dropped. That not only for the Scudetto, but even for a top four to solidify that their place in the top four. Hopefully those aren't 5 points. They're going to come back at the end of the season and be like, wow, we really needed those 5 points against Lecce and Cagliari. I know where they are now. Still, they're in the battle, right? They're in the battle for.
You already beat Napoli. If you guys get the win, if you guys get another win versus Roma, those are like you win the 6 point games against your biggest competitions for those top four spots. So it helps you increase your chances tremendously to get into that top four. So you already won the 6 point game versus Napoli. So that's what hurts the most.
Yeah, with 15 or 16 games left, they're still in control of their own destiny at this point. They have to get the wins, most importantly against those teams, right? But for sure, the positive effect of Spalletti has been nice, and I mean, it's been awesome to see Jonathan David, the way he's been scoring. I was so happy to see him score against Napoli. I don't know if you felt the same, Gianni, seeing a Canadian score against Napoli.
Nah, man, it's the Juve jersey.
No, I understand.
It's not the player, it's the jersey. It's like I don't hate players. I really don't. I don't fault players for playing for teams. It's the jersey, man. It's just,
I know. I understand.
But I get your excitement for it because especially how there was a lot of slander towards Jonathan David and stuff, and when he first came in and stuff, and a lot of people were like, "This guy's a bust," blah blah blah, yada yada. But it's nice to see him proving a lot of haters or doubters wrong. He's like you have to give him time to get into the groove of things. It's not like sometimes a good coach can help you unlock it. Maybe David was just a perfect Spalletti kind of player. Maybe that's what it was. And just sometimes management and player makes a difference.
I think also this kind of sets the way for the post-Vlahovic era. Juve is just ready to move on. I think his contract is done at the end of the season. David's their guy now, and he's kind of solidified himself as their striker. And so Juve could feel more comfortable moving on from Vlahovic. I know there's been talk about different strikers, Kolo Muani coming back. It looks like they just want to get some depth because obviously Openda. I didn't like the way Openda played today. He did not look good. I know he hasn't played in a while. Like we always say on this show, with strikers, it is a confidence thing. So it could be his turn to lose confidence. but it really seems right now that Juve almost has to rely on Jonathan David to score goals every week, because after him, there's really not much. But I also like the way, I know I've been critical of Yildiz in the past, Jenny, but I have liked the way he's stepped up. He's scoring, he's assisting, like just overall, even McKennie, everyone's contributing offensively. And that's what I like about this Juve. And even what I liked about the game on Sunday against Napoli, they weren't afraid to have possession. They weren't afraid to attack. And this is different than what we're used to, especially in the Allegri years, right? There's a reason they scored 3 goals, but it wasn't that they scored the first goal and then they sat back. Obviously, Napoli had their chances here and there, but Juve weren't afraid to go up and get their second and third goal. And so, moving forward towards the end of the season, especially now the Champions League, that's what we need to see, right? Whoever they play in the Champions League, I think for Juve, it's really important at least to win a knockout round. They haven't won a knockout round in the Champions League since 2019. That's 7 years ago. So even if it means losing in the round of 16, like whatever, fine. Just get that one round out of the way, just to break the curse of 7 years. And overall, I think I'm satisfied as a Juve fan, especially compared to like two months ago.
Yeah, I think honestly speaking, they're in a good spot. Thing is, Yildiz is definitely going to attract a lot of attention. Let's be real here, if he hasn't already. And there might be an offer that might come the way that that Juventus can't refuse. Because it's always like that. No, but it's always like that.
I know.
SerieA develops a strong young talent, and then somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, cool, that's nice. We'll offer you 90 million for him." Okay, well, can't really say no to 90 million. What was it? Svilar recently, I think I saw for Roma. I think he got like an offer for like 61 million euros or 61 million pounds, something crazy. Like it was a crazy amount. And I'm like, Roma is definitely going to say yes to this. There's no way. Like they're probably going to do something towards the end of the season. Like they're not going to do it now mid-season, especially if they're fighting for top 4. But like, yeah, if they might lose another 10 million, 15 million in the offer, but there's a very good chance that Svilar. Hold on, let me pull it up. Svilar offer. 3 days ago. Here we go. Tottenham was willing to offer 62 million pounds, which is around 70 million euros. That's crazy. It's like Roma always has the situation where they develop a really good netminder, and then an English team's going to come in and try to offer them a crazy amount, like Liverpool did. Now it's going to be the Hotspur. It's going to be Tottenham. So it's rather interesting to see that. But that's what it is. It's like it's hard to retain talent when they're getting these crazy offers from elsewhere, and like they're gonna get a higher salary, and your team's gonna get paid a good payday, and it's beneficial for both sides. It sucks because you want your team to keep this player and hopefully have like a decent future with them and stuff. But I think at this point, it's like, okay, cool. You take that money and you reinvest it in the team and you try to make them better than before. Like it's like as if Juventus doesn't have some younger players. It's just they need to develop players better instead of just buying them from other teams and then just using them or making them run on the bench. But we'll get into that. I'll just shut up from there.
Yeah, I mean, one player, I know we've talked about him, but one player that's definitely we almost know on his way out of Serie A, but is playing really well, Nico Paz. It's like awesome to see him this season, but deep down, it's like this is probably his last season in Serie A, and he'll go elsewhere after this season. And even Como, I mean, look, I know it's different than what Atalanta did. This is a team that had a lot of money invested right away. It's not like they developed their own players. They went out and they bought the right players, right? And they have the right coach in Fabregas. But this is a team that right now they're in 6th place, 2 points behind Juve. Italy is right now 2nd in the UEFA coefficient standing, so there's a chance that Italy will get the 5th spot back in the Champions League. There's a real possibility we'll see Como in the Champions League next year.
That'd be crazy. That would be hilarious because from a team I predicted to finish in the top 10 last year,
and we laughed at you,
and then they did, and then me saying that they're going to finish in the top 8 this year, and they're in 6th. It would be hilarious. It honestly would be. Would they do anything in Champions League? No. Like maybe they might get a win or two here, like Bologna did a couple of seasons ago, but Do you honestly? I don't think they're obviously going to do like anything super crazy because, like, especially if Nico Paz does leave, which Real said that they're going to probably take it back at the end of the season, right? Like, they're like, okay, we're like at the end of at the end of his loan, we'll take it back. Like, we're not going to renew the loan, and it's like you can't keep him. It's the guy is doing phenomenally well. Definitely, Real Madrid's going to want to take it back. Surprised they haven't done it yet in the winter transfer, but probably they worked out something with Como. There's probably like an unwritten agreement or something, but from there it's tough because that's a very crucial part of your team, and it's crazy to say how a 21-year-old is like a very, very big crucial thing for your team. But the guy's got what, 8 goals, 6 assists. He's helping them fight for that spot. He's definitely the heartbeat of the team. Like you have a good supporting cast. Like you have a like it seems like as a unit they kind of work. Maybe Czech Fabregas himself is like is a solid coach, I guess, but definitely you lose Nico Paz, you lose a lot for that team. So it remains to be seen. I wonder if once Nico leaves in the summer, see what they're gonna do. They're not a poor team, so they might be able to get something really big for them, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that Martin Baturina he's been scoring recently. Maybe it could be a hot streak, but him to another young attacking midfielder type. He's a bit older than Nico Paz, but who knows if he'll be he could be that, he could fill that role next season for the club. Or if not, they'll probably go out and get another young starling with the money they earn from however high they're going to finish in the Serie A this season, or go as far in the Coppa Italia. As I said, they play Napoli, so
Let's be real. They're not making that much money with Serie A.
No, not Serie A. Yeah, not Serie A.
Not even Coppa.
They probably make more money with whatever documentaries they make.
For sure.
But yeah, Coppa Italia, Napoli, Como, Inter, Torino, they're on that same side of the bracket. So it could be interesting, especially if Inter go far in the Champions League. They can rest players for the Coppa Italia. Maybe, the winner of Napoli, Como could go to the final on that side. But Johnny, you've been pretty spoiled this year because we got Roma 3rd, Napoli 4th. We had too bad we couldn't have Adriano on this week because we had one of the derbies del Calcio guys, Milan Roma this weekend. I was hoping for a draw, and it turned out to be a draw. But Roma, it's obviously continuing a good season. What was it? Mailer, they signed. He scored in his debut.
Yeah,
they say Mailer, right?
Cold brain. Is it pronounced like that? No. I can't right now. My brain is not working.
But that player.
Yeah, him. Why is it not working right now? Hold on. I'm going to have to blow my nose 1 second. But anyways, continue.
Yeah. I mean, were you disappointed at all in the draw to Milan? Were you happy? What were your thoughts?
Sorry about that. I had to blow my nose. I'll be real. I'll take a draw versus Milan than a loss. Very important game for both sides. Obviously, that they're competing competing for the Scudetto, but Roma's trying their best to stay in the top 4 because that's always been the goal for the past 9 seasons. As my dog barks in the background, I don't know if people are picking it up on the microphone. It's because he has to bark every time there's a little knock at the door. But anyways, it's always like this at night. Every night I have to record. It's just always like this. Anyways, but yeah, for the past 9 seasons, the goal's been let's get back to Champions League. 8 seasons. Let's get back to Champions League. Let's get back to the top 4. Finally, you're punching distance. You're right there. So I'll take a draw. Obviously you want to win. Let's be real. Everybody wants to win, but a draw versus a once a week Milan, a team that is under the Allegri system that, they're very good in the league. Allegri's good in the league. He's capable of making teams with his tactics perform better than they actually are. Let's say, I'm not saying Milan's a bad team. They're not. I'm just saying he elevates the roster. I'll take a draw. It's just it's just is going to be tough because like them, they're having the opposite issue. It's funny. It always has to do with an Argentinian player, right? Now, them, it's their case is Paulo Dybala. Dybala's leaving in the summer, right? Like they don't seem like they're going to renew the guy. I don't blame them because the constant injuries and stuff. Like, where do you go from there afterwards? Like Sule, are you going to keep like is Sule going to stay or is Sule going to want to leave too because Dybala's leaving too? That's the other question mark. It's like, and then if you do lose both of them, now you have to restart your offense from zero. So it's a bit tough. I just hope that with a top four like finish that ownership takes it seriously. They're like, okay, let's purposely invest more and more in this team to either retain this top four spot or do a decent job in Champions League because that's going to generate so much income for the team once they make Champions League because the Olympico is going to sell out. You're gonna generate so much revenue for the Olympico. So I think that it's really results like that. God damn it, Toby. It's distracting me. I'm trying to say my point, and now he's making me like. That's not to mention, Toby. Thank you for reminding me. That's not to mention if Svilar leaves as well. That's another issue that they have to settle. So I like it. I mean, like I'll take the draw. I'll take it. I'm not sad. I'm not happy about it. I'm like, okay, I'm content. That's the word for it. Content.
Satisfied. But Roma, they actually have a tough schedule. Next 2 games, Udinese and Cagliari, but then after that, they play Napoli. 2 weeks after Juve. 2 weeks after Como. 2 weeks after Inter. 2 weeks after that, Atalanta, Bologna, and then second to last game of the season, they play against Lazio. So they're definitely in control of their own destiny, especially the fact that they play Juve, Napoli, Inter, and Inter. So they don't play Milan again. So they play 3 of the teams around them in the standings. But it feels like it's almost like make it or break it for Roma. Looking at the standings, they're a point or two above Juve, a point above Juve, 3 points above Como. So especially they do play Como. It's there's going to be a lot to be determined in this final stretch of 16 games for that top. I'm going to say top 5. Hopefully, Italy does get that 5th spot with the coefficient. But after that, it feels like Atalanta's on 35, Bologna is on 30. After that, there's separation. I think the 6 teams that are there now, those are going to be the 6 teams in the top 6. How it finishes, we'll see. I still think Inter finished first. I don't think Milan has enough to catch up with them, especially with the way Inter's playing. Especially what was it, the game against Udinese where they went down and they came back and won 6-2. Was it against Udinese or Como that game?
Repeat the question. Sorry,
they were up. They were down in a game. They came back. Oh, sorry, it was against Pisa. I think they were down at one point, and they stormed back and won 6-2. And that's just the type of team they are today. They beat Dortmund 2-0. They're getting the job done. Udinese 1-0 win, Lecce 1-0 win. I know they tied against Napoli, but this is definitely Inter's Scudetto to lose. They have a couple of tough opponents, but not the toughest schedule. But they still have to play Juve, Milan, and Roma. So again, other teams in the top 3. So if Inter doesn't win the Scudetto, it's probably because they lost those games. Those 3 games against Inter, Juve, Milan, and Roma. Obviously, as a Juve fan, I hope that they drop every single game. We win every single game. We go out and win the Scudetto, but I don't think that's possible.
Yeah. Not much more to say to that.
Yeah. No problem. I think that'll do it, honestly, unless there's something else you want to talk about, Jenny.
Lorenzo Insigne.
Oh my God.
Insigne to Pescara, apparently.
Our hometown team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Is it like official, or is it just
for context for the listeners? Nick and I are our grandparents come from one of my grandparents, his grandparents come from near Pescara in Italy. So basically, that's our hometown team, I guess. for that. Yeah, it would be funny. It would be cool. I wouldn't be mad about it because it was a team that he did play for. I don't know why fucking Fabrizio Romano says his boyhood club. Like, shut the fuck up, buddy. His boyhood club was Napoli. Let's be real. He played in Napoli's developmental system. He went to Pescara because they loaned him there before they brought him back to Napoli for Serie A purposes and stuff. Like, the guy's an idiot. Fabrizio Romano is an Apollon that supports Inter. Like, the guy's above.
He's a sellout.
He's a sellout for sure.
He's a sellout.
I don't blame the guy. If he wants to make money, he makes money, and he wants to do it that way. Let him do it that way, right? But it was like, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Anyways, but yeah, Insigne to Pescara. Look at that.
I don't think they're doing so well in the Serie B this season because they went up. They went up this season, and they're right in last place. 14 points.
It's okay.
It's probably a desperation move. Frosinone leads the league. Venezia 44 points. Monza 41. Palermo's a team I want to see back in Serie A. It's been a long time. Almost
because you're Sicilian side.
But we're not from Palermo, so it's like.
Oh no, you guys Messina.
Agrigento, so the southern side.
Okay,
so their team Gas isn't that good. So
it's okay. My dad's hometown team, Casertana FC. How do they do it in Serie C? Let's see. Casertana FC in Group Ashbad. Oh, in Group C, they're in fourth place. Not bad. They're right behind Salernitana, Catania, and Benevento.
Nice.
Holy shit, that's a tough group. Like think about this. These are teams that at one point were like in Serie A at some point. Like you have Benevento, you have Catania, you have Salernitana, you have Crotone in this group. You have the U23 team of Atalanta, so that's funny to see. But like it's crazy. So like how like sometimes you just see these teams move up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah. Especially like they go bankrupt, they start back at the bottom. Like Gas, they were actually in Serie D a couple seasons ago, and then went bankrupt, and now they're back in the sixth division. So.
Nighttime Scudetti winners, Pro Vercelli in 11th place.
Anyways, Johnny, this was fun.
Yep.
Good to catch up. Hopefully we'll be able to get back next week, the three of us. But until next time, you know where to follow us on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the Calcio Guys. Listen to us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Hit subscribe on YouTube, of course. And follow us on Twitter as well. Johnny Rules 27, Nicholas _Calcio. And thanks for listening.
Bye.